The changing political landscape among Arab countries in the Middle East being closely watched by people in Israel. All of its neighbors are experiencing some level of popular dissent, and that is raising questions for those looking to invest in the Middle East. My next guest is גיורא, Ireland. He is a major general in the Israeli Defense Forces. גיורא also is the keynote speaker at a conference that Bloomberg co-sponsored, the effect of Middle East changes on Israel. גיורא, good to have you with us on Bloomberg. Thanks so much for joining us. So what has been the reaction from the investment and business community in Israel to all of the changes that continue to unfold in the Middle East?
Actually, there is very little influence, if at all, between what is happening in the Arab world to what is happening in Israel. It might be surprising, but this is more or less the reality in the past 30 years. One of the reasons is because Israel has a very little economic connections, even with countries like Egypt and Jordan. And the second reason is because whenever there is problem internally in these countries, usually they are focused on their internal matters. So ironically, the chances for a military dispute with Israel goes down rather than goes up. But, of course, there are certain things that might have implications on Israel, and maybe the most important matter is Egypt.
Well, that is important not only for diplomatic and political reasons, but also for energy concerns.
For energy and for many other things, because since the day that we signed a peace agreement with Egypt, something like 32 years ago, it is not only that the Israeli political or security situation has improved, but also its economic situation, because under the assumption that Egypt is not a potential enemy anymore, Israel could reduce the defense budget. So in real terms, the defense budget of Israel remains the same in the past 35 years. But as a part of the GDP, it went down from 30% to 7.5%. So one of the reasons for the Israel prosperous economy is the peace agreement with Egypt. So this is something that we have to watch very carefully, because a change in this matter might have an influence on Israel.
Now, the most recent rocket attacks coming from the Gaza Strip have been reported to have been repelled or intercepted by a new anti-missile defense system that was deployed in Beersheba as well as in Ashkelon. Is this a sign of the future way in which Israel is going to be dealing with these attacks?
I hope that this is not going to be the only measure, because it is not only it is accurate and it is effective, but it cannot give you 100% guarantee. And besides, it is very expensive. So I hope that there is some other measures that can be taken in order to deter the other side. And this is more or less what is happening. By the way, this is one of the other paradoxical results of what is happening in the Arab world. Because if you take Hamas in Gaza, for example, or Hezbollah in Lebanon, then these two organizations, the stronger that they get militarily, the more political responsibility they have, so they must take much more constrained approach. Therefore, it is easier to deter them, and we can enjoy quite a peaceful relationship with Hezbollah in the past 5 years. And also in Gaza, despite of the tension, I believe that neither Israel nor Hamas are interested in a resumption of hostility between us. So the situation is, in a way, more stable than the way that sometimes it is perceived.
Now, גיורא, as Israel has been reclassified as a developed investment opportunity by MSCI, how has that changed business perception in the country?
I think that Israel enjoys the benefits of both worlds. On one hand, the growth of the Israeli economy is quite similar to developing countries like India, China, and others. At the same time, the stability or the political stability in Israel is much stronger. So Israel is a good opportunity for foreign investors, and it is one of the things that do happen in the past few years.
I want to thank you very much. גיורא, Ireland, coming to us as insight, offering from Israel and business perspective about the region. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right.